Who am I as a future teacher? I am fun, energized, ready to tackle the day and help students comprehend whatever subject is being focused on for that day. I'm caring, patient, and loving towards my future students. My name is Jocelyn de la Garza, and I was born and raised in Brownsville, Texas. From my earliest memories, I remember growing up in a low-income family. My parents got married young, and they had my brother at a very young age too. My dad was born and raised in Matamoros, so his English at the time was pretty much non-existent when he moved to Brownsville with my mom. I always remember my dad working so hard in any job he could find to make ends meet for all of us. My mom and I would take my dad his lunch when he worked at Luby's and then H-E-B. My mom worked at Dillard's selling perfume for men on the second floor. My family's income was so low, my dad would look for quarters that would fall into the sofa to scrape up enough cents to buy and cook us chicken. My mom decided to go back to school and be a teacher, and that was when I lived with my grandparents for years every summer, weekends, and sometimes during the week because my parents were always working trying to make ends meet. I basically considered my grandparents to be my second mom and dad. I spent most of my time with them, and during her student teaching, my mom's student teaching, she moved me schools once again. I was moved to different schools a total of 5 times before I just exploded one day at a new school and had a major meltdown. And I just didn't want to go to school anymore until my mom finally settled me down, which wasn't until the 2nd grade. I vividly remember one day in 4th grade, my teacher was doing a math lesson. I remember being so confused because it was the first time that the class had worked independently on long division. I raised my hand and said, I don't understand the final step to finish this problem. Not only was I so confused, but I was certain I would end up figuring it out with the teacher's help. The teacher came by my desk and said, "What don't you get? This is an easy math assignment. You should know this by now." I was embarrassed and said, "I guess I forgot the last step. I don't understand how to finish the problem." My teacher looked at me and said, "You need to try harder to figure it out. I'm not going to help you." At that point, I began to cry because I was so embarrassed. I was simply a 9-year-old student who just needed some help to finish up a math problem. I always doubted myself, and I started getting low grades because I thought I didn't know math because of what my 4th grade teacher told me. I took non-pre-AP math classes in high school because I thought if I took pre-AP math, I would fail the class because of how my 4th grade teacher made me feel. That moment really scared me and affected me greatly in a negative way. Teachers have the power to make or break your confidence as a student. From that point on, I knew in my heart I wanted to be a teacher and overcome any obstacles in my life. I knew I needed to rise as high as I can to make my parents and grandparents proud of me. I want to make students feel welcomed and answer any questions they had with an open mind. I knew I wanted to be an educator and include every single student in whatever activity or lesson is taking place. My mother always told me, "Échale ganas, mija," which means in English, give it your all. Ever since then, I've been pursuing this college career to the fullest and enjoying every bit of it to be just like my mom one day and also get my master's. Sincerely, Jocelyn de la Garza.